What's going on, Cubs fam? We are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes guide. I'm super excited today to talk about 8 super common mistakes that you guys are probably making out there. I've made them. We can all own up to it. There's no shame here. Like the video if you made at least one of these mistakes. And I'm going to be careful here. I do not want to give you guys super generic crap here that is just like super obvious stuff like not climbing in my arena or not joining raids or not finishing my dailies. Like you guys know that obvious stuff. I want to give you guys new tidbits of information. So, mistake number 1 is connected to mods, but I want to get a little more specific in that because just saying focus on mods is not very helpful. Like, we all know to focus on mods. What I'm going to say is not focusing on mods in the right way. In the right way, in my opinion, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of my process here that doesn't need to take you very long, but my mental goal here is every single day I want to add at least 1 + 10 speed secondary to my lineup. Let me show you how I go through this. So I'm farming right now. I rotate through the sets and the damage, the mod sets in the challenges. All right. And so right now I'm farming crit chance. I'm gonna sort these by speed. These are all of my unequipped mods. Obviously the arrows are gonna show up on top. And then I'm gonna scan through here and look for any of my mods that are not level 15. After I farmed some new mods, either got them from marquee events or what have you. So here we go. We're going on down the list, scanning for the mod that is not... Okay, here we go. So here's a little pocket here. So let's take this mod, for example. This mod does not have speed on it right now, but the colors, you can upgrade them just a little bit and show some additional stats. So the green mods you take to level 9. It'll show all of the stats, and boom! We got a speed. This is very nice that happened on the video. And so this is a mod that I can then level up fully to 12 and hope that it procs speed again. And boom, we got a 9+ speed mod. So because that mod was worthwhile, I'm going to max it out and we'll tuck it away for later. We may slice that later, but I don't quite slice them yet. All right, so now I'm going to scroll back down and find that pocket of mods, and I'm going to continue where we were. All right, so the next one on the list right here, this defense mod right here. So same thing, take it to level 9. It'll show all of the stats. And here's the important... Okay, so wow, we're getting really good video luck. Normally, you won't get speed that much. Let's see if this one procs again. Okay, that one didn't proc. +4 speed on a green mod. I got an offense percentage there. I'm going to max that out and hold that for later. But be careful to sell the mods that you're not going to use as well that are obviously just kind of a waste of space. So let's take this one, for example. We'll see if this one doesn't proc speed. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to do modding on my videos from now on. That one's worth saving as well. But if it didn't proc speed and if none of these stats were useful, then I just hit sell. And then after I've done that, after I've done that to all of my mods, for purple mods that are level 1, you take them up only to level 3, blue mods to level 6, green to level 9 to show all of the stats, and then you can even go through your gray mods, which is worth it, and take them to level 12. It'll show all those stats. And then you can start sorting through here and determining which mods you want to slice if you've got the materials. So I maybe have materials. If I had materials to slice purple mods right now, which I don't, I'll go to whichever one has the highest speed secondary and go ahead and slice that. So that's a very quick crash course on what I do. You do not need to spend much time doing that every single day. Add at least 1, everyone say it with me, add at least 1 + 10 speed secondary to my roster every day. All right, the next item on the list is... The next mistake is not dealing with Galactic Legends. Now, notice I didn't say not farming Galactic Legends. We need to deal with Galactic Legends. And what I mean by that is either you need to farm them or you need to have a solution for them. So, obviously everybody knows the most ideal scenario is that you have in your pocket both Galactic Legends characters at your disposal, right? That's gonna be ideal. But I also very much appreciate, especially free-to-play players out there who just don't have the drive to put that much time investment into farming Galactic Legends. That's fine too. You're going to see them eventually though. And do you want to accept for the rest of this game that every time you see a Galactic Legend, you are going to cave and do nothing about it? And so, you need to deal with Galactic Legends either in one of 2 ways. 1, you need to farm them, or 2, you need to farm a counter for them. There are a lot of counters out there. Farming the mods will help you guys, of course, get there, but pay attention to what characters can counter that. I think one of the most obvious examples of this is going to be Darth Vader, who has been a very solid counter to Galactic Legends. Having General Skywalker in hand, he's in a lot of counter teams, and having your Thrawn up there is a great option as well, along with many others. Now, my personal solution, I'm farming Galactic Legend Kylo right now. I'm behind the times because I wasn't going to do them for a while, but now I am. So do some research. I'm not going to get into all the counters in this video because it ended up being a forever long video. There's a lot out there. Find a counter that works for you and farm it. Deal with Galactic Legends. Don't just completely neglect them. Now, I want to be serious about the number 3 mistake that people make, and that is that people do not learn to separate the game and the community from the studio that makes the game. Now, I might catch a little bit of flack for this, and I can see there's probably going to be some people out there who are like, but Cubs, this studio makes the game, and so I can't do that. You know what? If that's how you feel, fair. But if that's how I felt, I would quit the game and I would stop enjoying this game. It is very easy for, I think, many of us, and some people, maybe you're not frustrated with capital games, that's fine too. So I'm gonna speak to those of you who are, because I think most of us are in one way or another. If you get too caught up in how pissed you are about the game should be this way, the game should be this way, the devs should do this, etc., but you still want to play this game, it starts ruining your enjoyment of the game. And there is, in my opinion, still enjoyment to be had. Now, if that enjoyment is just completely absent for you, maybe it's time for you to consider quitting. And that's 100% up to you guys. But for those of you who really want to still enjoy this game, you still love Grand Arena, you still love farming specific characters, you still love the community, etc., learn to separate, in your mind, have a clear division between the studio that makes this game and the crap that they've done that I can't defend, and the game itself and how enjoyable it is, the Star Wars celebration, etc., that we love with this game, and the studio that makes it. You can do that. That's something that I've done. It's a way that I respond to a lot of people when they say, Cubs, why don't you just quit the game? And the short answer is because I don't want to. I still love the game. What CG does not always affect how I feel about this game, and I think a lot of us would do better to have a little bit more of that perspective, if that makes sense. All right. Number 4, the number 4 mistake people make is they farm too broadly. Now, I want to show you guys an example of farming too broadly. I have been farming all over the place, and part of that is because I've been wanting to farm. I chased Jedi Luke for a little bit when I was still free to play, and now, or not free, but I was not spending. Sorry. I've got GL Kylo on my docket now. If you put yourself in too many directions, you're not going to make very much progress very fast, and you can also bloat your roster and get some harder Grand Arena matchups. So my best recommendation for farming priority is to pick one character and take them up. So right now, this is what I'm doing with my first order, getting ready for Galactic Legends. So right now, I'm farming First Order Officer. He's my next on the list. I'm just going down the line. Boom, 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 boom. I do have a couple characters favorited for shards. So Hux is favorited for shards. Poggle's favorited because I still want to farm the shards for the IG-2000 right here. It's just to remind me because I don't look at my ships tab much. And then, of course, I've got Lobster shards right here. But I'm not equipping all this gear down here. I'm not worrying about this. I'm just getting First Order Officer taken care of. Obviously, I want to farm Mando shards too. So some characters are here for shards, but for gear, that's the only one I'm farming gear for. And for relics, Kylo's the only one I'm farming relics for because I'm getting him up to relic 7 for those requirements. So focus farm, cannot say that enough. All right, mistake number 5 is not having a flexible Grand Arena strategy. Now, as you do Grand Arena, it is very easy to go into your squad selector. You've got your 3v3 teams. Boom, this is what I'm going to place on defense. I'm going to save these characters for offense. End of story. Do your research on your opponent and have a couple different strategies. This is going to be important for a couple reasons. Number 1, I do not believe there is a one-size-fits-all strategy for Grand Arena. There just is not. And number 2, people are going to be looking at your history. And if you do the exact same thing every single time, then they're going to know that and they're going to exploit that if they are an intelligent player. Let me give you an example of a way I shook my strategy up recently. I used to really feel a lot more comfortable, I should say. Oh, wow, look how close I am to Erodium League. That's crazy. I used to feel very, very, very uncomfortable if I placed my Darth Revan on defense, so I always held him. But now I've gotten a little more comfortable with placing him when I see that my opponent has a slower Darth Revan and a slower Bastila Fallen. And that's what I did in this case. My opponent did not have Galactic Legends. We were even in that respect, and I got the hold right there, and he just didn't try anything else because he didn't... I'm guessing he didn't feel like he would be able to manage beating anything from there. Also, I had already put up a pretty high score on him. One small example, change things up, try new things, try different teams on defense, pay attention to what works, pay attention to what's getting one shot every time. If you've got a team that every time you place it, you know there's a one right there, it never holds, then consider shaking it up and placing something else. Have an ever-changing Grand Arena strategy if you want to win more Grand Arenas. Number 6, I want to talk about this very briefly, but I think a big mistake people make in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is they join a guild that just really doesn't match their play style. And so that'll be anything from a free-to-play player who's in a guild that's just a little too fast-paced for them, and maybe they just feel constantly upset as a result. You're feeling tension there, or maybe somebody who's very pay-to-play or very committed, and they're in a guild where they are the top dog, and they just feel constantly frustrated with how lazy everyone is. Find yourself a guild that matches what your pace of play is, because that will go a very long way in your day-to-day enjoyment of the game, so you're not constantly annoyed with either getting pulled along, doing, you don't want to play the game at this high committed level, or the opposite, where you don't want to pull everyone else along and try to get them on your level. All right, there's not really much else to say about that, but I think that's still very relevant in today's game. Number 7, I'm going to talk about as well. A big mistake that players make in this game is not owning what their play style is. Now, we have got a division in this community sometimes between free-to-play and pay-to-play players. And there are those, I've seen this on both sides, because I've treaded the line of both camps, right? I've gone through periods where I am not spending. I started the game as a free-to-play player, started spending a little bit, and then started spending a good amount. And then I made my, no more spending pledge. And then I came back to the dark side and started spending again, which I've talked about. But I've noticed in doing that it's like there's a division between the spenders and the non-spenders. I want to remind you guys right now, we are all a community. It does not matter if you are free to play or pay to play. You're supporting this game, whether you're free to play or whether you're paid to play. If you're a paid to play player, don't hate on the free to play. If you're a free to play player, don't hate on the paid to play, because it just shows that you are insecure with where you are personally at, in my humble opinion. If you're from a free to play perspective, the whales aren't ruining the game, everyone. They're just not. The game wouldn't exist if people didn't spend money on it. And so I'm very much an everyone get along kind of person. And in my humble opinion, we need more. Just be comfortable in your own skin. Get over the fact that some people spend a lot of money on this game. Don't resent them for it. It's always going to be part of this game. And on the other side, there's always going to be people who are adamant about not spending on this game. Own your play style. Own where you're at. Be comfortable with it, and let other people be where they're at. We're all one community. It's not free to play versus pay to play. It's players versus CG, guys. They're the ones who influence what this game is going to be. Anyway, I'll get off my my soapbox now. All right, last thing that people do that they make big mistakes on is they do not watch the one and only Darth Cohen. I'm gonna give this guy a shout out, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. This is very relevant with this video, but I recently found this guy through Fortmore, and Darth Cohen is a new YouTuber to this game with a very small following. And if you guys want to go watch somebody who just has the pure joy of playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, go watch his videos. You'll love it. It's very, very different quality than you're probably used to. It is not, this guy, he records his iPad with his phone and does his commentary. and he's very early game, and everyone should go watch one of these videos and give this guy all of the love he deserves, because his joy in playing this game is just so pure. And he also rants about CG, which I think all of us can get behind. So I just wanted to give him a shout out because I've been watching his stuff lately, and I've got him on notifications because he has the funniest catchphrases ever. I absolutely love Darth Corn. I actually had him on my Twitch stream, talked to him. Really, really awesome dude. So anyway, that's really, it's probably not really a mistake. I just had to throw it in there because I wanted to find an excuse to give my buddy Darth Cohen a shout out. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think about this list. How many of these mistakes are you guys making, and what do you want to improve on? Fill up the comment section below. And as always, my brothers, don't forget,